Hey, it's Etan. I've got a unique one for you today. I am standing in front of the Vasquez Rocks. This is a rock formation in the Sierra Pelona mountain range in northern LA County, right near the town of Agua Dulce. Just look at this alien topography, all of these rocks jutting out of the ground at strange angles, sanded down, curvy edges, right next to these incredibly jagged peaks. It's the result of 25 million years of erosion and water rushing through and seismic activity. So you can kind of understand why, with landscape this weird, why Star Trek would keep coming back over and over again over the years to film here. So this was the famous location where Captain Kirk battled the Gorn in an episode of the original Star Trek series from 1967. And since then, it's been a location for hundreds and hundreds of TV episodes and films, from westerns to sci-fi to syrup commercials and everything in between. So the Vasquez Rocks are on the National Register of Historic Places mostly because of what they can tell us about the native peoples that lived here for thousands of years. We know from the archaeological record, from both things that archaeologists have dug up here and also pictographs that the Native Americans left here, a little bit about what kinds of people they are. Up until the mid-late 1700s, the Tataviam people, they were a band of the Shoshone Native Americans. They lived here and in the surrounding area. They did not have agriculture, so they were a hunter-gatherer society, mostly ate gophers and squirrels and acorn mush and stuff. And it was a peaceful tribe of Native Americans. Now, when the Spanish missionaries came, they ended up luring most of the Tataviam to one of their missions. Historians think it was most likely the San Fernando Rey de España mission. Eventually, most of the Tataviam went there, intermarried, were forced to work there, and gradually lost their culture, and within a couple generations lost their language. There are no native speakers of the Tataviam language anymore. And of course, many of the Tataviam died because of infectious diseases that didn't exist before the Spanish brought them over. Now, the Tataviam still exist today. There is a tribal government based out of the city of San Fernando. The mid-1850s, Southern California becomes part of America after the end of the Mexican-American War, and this land becomes public land owned by the United States. So a stagecoach line comes in connecting the disparate settlers around here with Fort Tejon a little bit northwest of here. And you also have some prospectors coming in. Gold was found. Also, there's silver found in some of the canyons near here. And a few decades later, 1870s, there's oil found just west of here. So this was a perfect time to get a bandit like Tiburcio Vasquez coming to town. He was a Mexican bandito, and the first crime that we know he committed was in 1857. He was trying to steal horses from a ranch. He was sent to San Quentin prison. He escaped. He tried horse stealing again. He was caught, sent to San Quentin again. This time his incarceration stuck, and he got out in 1863. And once he got out, he went back to his old ways, but he got smarter. And so thus was unleashed about a decade of Tiburcio Vasquez's picaresque and deadly adventures. So this guy was a murderer. He stole everything that he could, including other people's women. And the reason that Vasquez Rocks bears his name is because this is where Tiburcio Vasquez's posse would hang out in the 1870s when they were trying to evade the local sheriffs. Now, we got to assume that a lot of the story of Tiburcio Vasquez is apocryphal, but I think the romance in his story is a perfect complement to the romance in these rocks. It just seems like a place where something would happen. It's too unique. It's too weird. It's too alien. And so it makes a whole lot of sense that Hollywood would want to come in and start shooting here. And since the 1970s, Vasquez Rocks has been a county park, and it remains a fantastic place to go for a hike, to see nature, to see evidence of the indigenous past in Los Angeles County and to soak in 25 million years of natural and human history. Thanks for doing LA with me.